Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Classical Biology. So in this video we are going to see about the reproduction in organism. So the reproduction in organism is a very big lesson. So I have divided this into part 1, part 2 and like so. So when we take about the definition for the reproduction is an important biological process, we say. So when we are saying it as an important biological process, what is the meaning of biological process? Several biological processes are taking place in the organism, like digestion, respiration, excretion. So like that, the reproduction is also an important biological process, we are saying. So what is the result or the gain of the reproduction? We get new individual organisms or the offsprings or the young one, and they are produced from the parent or parents. Yes. So here I have mentioned it as parent or parents. I have mentioned. Why we should use the word parent, singular form, parents, plural form. So if it is only one parent involved, we call it as asexual reproduction. If parents two are involved, then we call it as sexual reproduction, we are saying. So that only it is given as parent or parents, we are saying. So by the definition, new individuals are produced or the young one are produced or the offsprings are produced from their parent. That we call it as the reproduction, we are saying. Aim of reproduction. What is the objective of reproduction, or why the reproduction process is important? Because the process of reproduction ensures that a plant or an animal species does not disappear from the earth. So what we say it as to continue their race or perpetuate their race. The reproduction is important. So it is an important process to maintain the stability in the ecosystem and for the continuation of life on the earth. Once if there is no reproduction, there is no production of new individuals or the organism. So the reproduction is very, very important. When we see about the reproduction, there are two types of reproduction. That is what we say it as. Organisms exhibit two major modes of reproduction, named asexual and sexual reproduction. As already I told you, if only a single parent involved, then we call it as asexual reproduction. And because of this asexual reproduction, the offsprings are produced and all the offsprings are genetically identical. They will be showing whatever the character present in the parent, they will be showing as it is, whatever it may be, whether it is a good character or the unwanted character or the bad character, everything. So that only we are saying it as the genetically identical to the parent it will be showing. In asexual reproduction, generally it will be taking place by means of amitotic or mitotic division. And generally this will be taking place in the somatic or the body cell, it will be taking place. Somatic or the body cells, you are saying. So it has the other name called somatogenic or blastogenic reproduction, we are saying. And if two parents are participating, that is, one is male and the another one is female. If it is a female, it produces the ova or the egg. If it is a male, which produces the sperm. And these two will be fused and we get the new individual. That we call it as the sexual reproduction we are seeing. Then when we see about the advantage and disadvantage of asexual reproduction, first let us see about the advantage. First point, it says that rapid population growth. The growth of the population will be very rapid or very faster or very high, so that the number of individuals produced are very more or much in number. That's why we call it as rapid population growth we are saying. Second one, it consumes only less energy. If it is a sexual reproduction, gametes must be produced. That is, male gamete must be produced or the female gametes must be produced. So it requires more amount of energy. But in the asexual reproduction, there is no production or the involvement of gametes. So that we call it as this process is energy efficient process here saying. Okay. And the third one, preservation of desirable traits. Because of asexual reproduction, the characters are passed from the parents to the young one as it is, whatever the characters may be, whether it is desirable or undesirable character. But they are passed from the parents to the young one directly. Whatever the character, 100% of the parental character will be present in the in the young one. Then the next one, we cover the fourth point, suitable for stable or predictable environment. Because the asexual reproduction will be taking place only during the favorable and during the good season, where the food and the water are available plenty. And moreover, it is suitable for the particular environment also. When we come for the disadvantage, lack of genetic diversity. Why there is no genetic diversity? Because only one parent involved during the asexual reproduction. So there is no genetic recombination or there is no reshuffling of the DNA or the characters. So that is the disadvantage we have in the asexual reproduction. When we come for the sexual reproduction, it is a complex process, so which involves fusion of two gametes, one is male and the another one is female, so that they will be creating the offsprings or the young one. So look into the diagram. Here we have the male sperm and the female we have the egg. So the sperm fuses with the egg. As a result of that, we get the formation of the zygote. And when we take about this zygote, here the male or the sperm at the time of sexual reproduction, the gametic or the chromosomal number will be present as n number, and in the egg also it will be present as n. So this we call it as the haploid set of chromosome. Here we call it as the haploid set of chromosome. When these two fuses and we get the zygote which will be diploid, or 2n number of chromosome will be present. After that, the zygote divides mitotically, and which will be developing into the embryo, and the embryo in turn develops into a baby we are saying. When we take about the asexual reproduction, it is generally common in the members of Protista, bacteria, Archaebacteria, and in some of the higher organisms, that is multicellular organisms which have the simple organization, also will be showing the asexual reproduction. And asexual reproduction, there is also called as uniparental inheritance. And there are different methods of or modes of asexual reproduction are observed in the animal. They are fission, budding, fragmentation and regeneration. So now let us see one by one. First of all, let us see what is the meaning of fission. Fission is the division of the parent body into two or more identical daughter individuals. Here when we take in the diagram, we have the first one as the parent cell we have. And in the beginning, the nucleus divides into two. Here one, here two. So the division of the nucleus is called as karyokinesis. Then in the third stage, cytoplasmic division, that is the division of cytoplasm is taking place. That we call it as cytokinesis. As a result of that, we are getting a cross-wall formation in the middle. So we get two individuals or two daughter cells are formed because of this fission process here. And in animals, there are 5 types of fission. And first one is binary fission, second one is multiple fission, third one is plasmatomy, fourth one strobylation, and the fifth one sporulation. Yes. So let us see about what is the binary fission which is taking place in the organism called amoeba. So binary fission in amoeba. So in amoeba we have the parent amoeba. And first of all, what is happening? The plane of division, because the amoeba is irregularly shaped. So we cannot say exactly the plane of division, whether it will be taking place horizontally, vertically or oblique. So we cannot say exactly, we are saying. So what is happening during the binary fission? First, the contractile vacuole ceases to function and it will be started disappearing. And now the nucleoli disintegrate and the nucleus divides mitotically. So here it divides by means of mitotic division. Then afterwards the cell will be started constricts in the middle. So here it becomes constriction, we are saying. So here itself it has started the constriction. And at last we will be getting two amoebae, or the two daughter cells are produced, we are saying. So this is the binary fission in amoeba, which is very, very simple, we are saying. It is very, very simple to see or observe it and to study also. So that we call it as, it is a simple binary fission, we are saying. Then the next type, the transverse binary fission. So this transverse binary fission is observed mainly in the paramecium and in the case of planaria, we are saying. So when you are observing in the case of paramecium, we find two types of nucleus are present. One is macronucleus and the micronucleus. Both of them are started dividing in this way. Now here in the third diagram, it is explained very clearly that the mitotic division will be taking place. So in the fourth diagram, two new nucleus are formed. Here one is micro, this is the micro, and this is the macro, like that. Then at the same time there will be a contractile vacuole formation will be taking place here as well as here also. But when you are observing in the first diagram and the second diagram, we could find only one. Then there will be a constriction in the middle or in the transverse direction. The constriction will be taking place. So as a result, two daughter paramecia are produced. So this we call it as transverse binary fission we are saying. And in this, in paramecium, the macronucleus divides by amitosis and the micronucleus divides by mitosis. So that only here two nuclei are produced. Same case in the case of planaria also we can observe in the planaria also the same transverse division. So here they have mentioned the constriction. As a result of the constriction, two individuals are produced. The third type of fission is longitudinal binary fission. Generally this is observed in the flagellates like Vorticella, and in the Euglena we are observing it. So here what is happening? First the nucleus and the cytoplasm divides in the longitudinal axis, in the lengthwise, which will be dividing we are saying. The flagellum will be retained by one daughter cell. One will be having here, one will be having the flagellum. The another one will be producing it later we are saying. Then at the same time, the basal granules which are present in the cell is divided into two, and the new basal granules are formed which will be developing into the flagellum in the other daughter individual. So first in the beginning only one will be having that, later the remaining will be developing the flagellum we are saying. So this is observed in the case of Vorticella, a protozoan, and it is also observed in the case of Euglena also. The longitudinal binary fission which is taking place in the case of Euglena. So here when you are observing the Euglena, here they have mentioned about the chromosomes, nucleoli and the nucleus. So the nucleoli will be disappearing. Then the nucleus will be started dividing. Previous to that, the flagella, it divides into two. Here we have only in the beginning, only one flagella is present. It divides so that it produces the two flagella here. Simultaneously, the nucleus also divides. And during that time, there is a constriction this way, that is the longitudinally the constriction will be started happening in this way we are saying. Simultaneously what is happening? The nucleus also divides. So here the nucleus, it is completely divided into two, and moreover the constriction which we are saying it as, which will be taking place longitudinally, so that the two individuals are produced. So here you can observe the structure very clearly. Here the middle portion has been protruded out, so that only we have got this structure we are saying, and this will be continued longitudinally, so that we are getting two individuals here saying. So this is the thing, or this is the division which we call it as the longitudinal binary fission observed in the case of Euglena we are saying. The last one, the oblique binary fission, which we are observing it in the case of dinoflagellates, especially in the Serratium we are saying. So this Serratium, it is similar to that of what we can say it as like an amoeba. It is of irregular in shape. So the fission point here, the process of division will be started taking place, which will be going oblique way. So this is vertical, this is horizontal, and if it is taking place in this way, we call it as oblique we are saying. So in this way, obliquely it is taking place, not in the vertical or the horizontal plane. So that we call it as oblique binary fission, we are saying, which is observed in the case of dinoflagellate, especially the Serratium we are observing. Okay. Then when we are coming for the next portion, the remaining content will be continued in the part 2. Thank you for watching.